Hello and welcome. This template is for the login user. In this template, the instructions are the same as I explained in the tax category template. There are a few fields and tabs being used, along with sheets that are explained here. The definition of each one is provided. If any prerequisites are required, they are available. The instructions to fill in this template are very important, so please read them once. There is also validation available here for this template. For this login user, we have to provide the name of the organization. Then, if there is an employee, then we have to provide their employee code or staff ID, which will be unique in this case because every employee has their own employee code. We have to provide their employee name, as the description says. Then, there is the email ID of the employee, which is also mandatory. The fields marked in red are mandatory, while the fields not marked in red are not mandatory. We have to provide values in those fields. Then, gender is also mandatory in this case. Next, it's about whether it's a sales app or not. For the field service, if your employee is allowed to create sales quotations, then you have to mark this as a sales rep. The next one is the employee address. For each employee, you have to provide the employee address as well. That's also important. In this case, we have two fields. The organization is the same. Then, there's the employee code, which will come from this sheet here. You have to pick it and select it from the dropdown. Then, the address you have to mention. The address can be mentioned in 3 lines separately, or if you want to do it in 1 line only, that's your choice. You can do that. Then, there's the city name, which is mandatory. The state or region is good to have, but if you don't have it, you can skip it. The zip code is very good to have, and the country name is also important. If the employee has a phone number, we can provide that phone number in this template. Next is the user. Basically, these users will be created in the system. Whenever we fill this template and import it, the user will be directly created in the system. You don't have to do it manually. For this, the details are pretty much the same as for an employee. The organization, username, and user ID, you can provide any user ID. The username and user ID could be different. You can use alphanumeric keys here. Also, if there's a repetition in the names, then you have to mark whether this is an employee or not. If this is an employee, then you have to map which employee it is. Otherwise, you can skip this and mark it as N, and then you don't have to provide a value for the employee code. For the employee code, as mentioned in the template, you can refer to the worksheet, employee field, employee code. So, the worksheet is employee, and the field is employee code. This is the field. In this way, we've provided the description in the description section from where you can get the data and fill it into this template. Email is mandatory. Then, the phone number. Designation is not mandatory. You can leave it blank. If you have a particular designation, you can provide that here. If they are a functional consultant, technician, or field admin, you can provide that here. Then, the role. For field service management, there are 2 default roles we have created for you. One is field service admin, and the second is technician. You can assign any one role to this particular user, and that is mandatory. If you think that this role is not relevant to you, you can keep any role for now. Later on, you can change it when you create different roles, as per your organization's needs. You can map that role as well, while configuring the system. Then, there's user organization access. Here, you can provide the access of the organization that you want to give to this particular user. If you have a multi-organization setup, then you can provide access to multiple organizations for one user. Alternatively, you can provide one organization to one user. Then, there's the question of whether it's a login user or not. Basically, if you want the user to log in or not. If you want to create a user but don't want them to be a login user, you can do that as well. But if it is a login user, you have to provide the necessary details. Then, there's the sales rep field. As I explained earlier, if the user is allowed to create quotations, then you have to mark it as Y. If it's a technician that you want to allow to generate quotations from the application, then you have to mark it as Y as well. Otherwise, you can keep it as N. This is the user template. After filling all the data, you can validate it using the instructions provided. The validation process is pretty much the same for each and every worksheet or template, so we won't go into that in detail here.